park bench.
which never happened, but he's
I like to remember. I think they remember that.
he's misremembering. He's going to the Brian Williams School of Memory now. But how do you misremember that? Unless, of course, you were lying. And I put a link to the Twitchy team feed in the chat room because they do a great job of compiling some of the best stuff. And I love Twitter hashtag games, especially when they are kind of poking fun at somebody. And this one has some gems in it. We're remembering Brian Williams. I was there with Brian Williams, and making up memories like this one. So he turns to Chaucer and says, "What if it's not in poem form?" And then the page just skips. So I make
Actually, I did read
which, as an English major, that's a tweet that speaks to me. So.
Actually, the first version of the Canterbury Tales I ever read was in prose form. So
yeah, so
modern, yes. I remember beating Brian Williams in a twerking contest.
Yes, we should put that. We should start that. Add that to the hashtag wars. And that kind of reminds me, Taylor. Did you see the Vine of that plane crash in Taiwan?
Yeah, Venkman showed it to me. That was wow. I was like, I was sitting there going, okay, where's the plane? Where's the plane? Oh!
Are you talking about the one where it's way off in the distance?
Yeah. I was like, where? I was just staring right ahead.
There's another one. There's another one. No, that's not it. There's another one that I'll see if I can find that was taken from a different dash cam angle, where they're maybe 100 yards from the plane. You can see the landing gear.
Yeah, if I were in that car, you'd have to replace the upholstery.
Yeah, I think everybody on that highway would have to replace that upholstery. Let me look and see if I can find it in my Twitter feed and put the link up that way because it was in my Twitter feed. Oh, Boston Randy has a link. Is that the link to it? Let me see. But yeah, that's like the stuff of nightmares for me because I think I've talked about it on air how I've never been on a plane. So
and how she freaked out on a cutaway of one.
They have a full size. Well, it's cut in half, but it is a actual once in service 737 or some
727 maybe
727 mounted in the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, and you can walk in there. You can look in the cockpit. You can look through the floor at the landing gear. You can sit in the passenger seats and look out the window. And we did that several years ago, and I basically had a panic attack and ran off the plane freaking out because I just couldn't handle being in that confined space. But yeah, so I will put that link up if I can't find it on my Twitter feed right now because I'm having problems logging in on my desktop. I will definitely put it up on the show post later because that's the one that you have to see because it almost looks like it's fake. Given the rise of fake images on social media, I get a little skeptical about stuff like that, but it's real and it's horrifying. It really is. But so Brian Williams lied, and he's maintained that story for the better part of over a decade. And shouldn't there be some consequence to that? I mean, it's not like he said, "Oh, I once met so and so, and we went to dinner. I went to dinner with the Pope once," and "Oh, it's not true. You were just making that up." He lied about being shot down in a war zone by the enemy.
I have a good punishment from him too.
Do you have a serious punishment for him, or do you think he should? Yes or no? Should he be punished?
Yes.
What should his punishment be? Legitimately, before we get goofy.
Well, the legitimate one would probably be a justifiable punishment would be putting him on The View, sentencing him to be a panelist on The View.
Is it alternate career? No, that I would approve of. That's kind of mean, but yeah, that I would approve of. Although isn't The View being canceled, or no? Did I just dream that?
I don't know.
A girl can dream, I suppose.
I don't watch The View.
Taylor, what is your reaction to Brian Williams? I mean, because he's lying. I think he's lying. You don't misremember something.
Because we don't have my disclaimer here, I have to tread very lightly.
Okay.
But
well, if you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
No. I'll just tread lightly. I think that there should be consequences. I'll just put it that way. There should be consequences.
Yeah, this is a pretty big thing to admit and say it was. We have the administration speakos and my remarks. I didn't mean
Boston
what I said.
Randy in the chat room. No, put him on the couch as one lucky guy on Outnumbered and let Kennedy rip him to shreds. Yeah, I'm down with that.
That would be good too. That would be good too.
Fox is going to run out. And look, I wish I had Fox Business because I would totally watch the the Independence doesn't exist anymore. I would totally watch what I would have watched the Independence, and I would totally watch Kennedy's show if I had Fox Business. But Fox they have way too many good shows on. They really do. I mean, couldn't we replace Kennedy? Couldn't we use Kennedy and Red Eye and have them replace, I don't know, Hannity and O'Reilly?
Dave likes O'Reilly.
Or Van Susteren? Couldn't we do that?
Megan.
No, I like Megan. You keep Megan because she's pretty and I think she's smart and funny. But Greta Van Susteren could probably go. I would put Bill O'Reilly at the top of the list, even though we're totally shamelessly aping his audio. But no, I think we could use something like that.
That audio is from when he was Inside Edition host, by the way.
Inside Edition, yeah. What was I going to say? We do have Fox Business. I just don't get a lot of opportunities to watch it because with 3 kids in the house under the age of 8, you don't get a lot of time to watch hard news that either doesn't. Yeah, it's all SpongeBob all the time, pretty much. So. In films that will not be nominated for Academy Awards, Daddy gets the honor of taking them to see the SpongeBob movie next weekend because I love taking my kids to movies, and they're very, very good if the movie is, age appropriate for them. But there isn't any amount of money in the world that could get me to go see the SpongeBob movie, no matter how much I love my kids. I can't think of a worse hell than being in a theater for 2 hours with that annoying yellow thing on the screen laughing. I really can't. So, I really can't. So, we wanted to talk about Wisconsin stuff tonight, and we kind of have gone far afield a little bit.
Well, we can talk about Wisconsin. We can talk about Wisconsin, Texas, because Sunday night we were uttering profanities about Wisconsin weather.
Yeah, that was... We got slammed with a blizzard.
I want your weather.
Well, you can have it because I have snow piles at the end of my driveway that are taller than me, and I'm 5'7". And I
didn't realize you were that tall.
I'm 5'7", and these snow piles are taller than I am, and we probably got a good 15 to 16 inches over the past 4 days. We got the bulk of it on Sunday, but last night we got yesterday and into last night we got another 3 or 4 inches on top of that. So I am done. Old Man Winter, I said this on Twitter, can bite me, and so can Al Gore, because I'm cleaning up a hell of a lot of global warming from my property.
Oh, it's climate change. Climate disruption.
Change. And, we were warned. I like having a corner lot. Our house is a corner lot because I like the open space to the one side of the house, and I love the neighbors that we have to the west. But, God, that's a lot of sidewalk to shovel. And we have to make sure that the corner is clean. We don't have a fire hydrant on our side, so that's one less thing we have to worry about. But we have to dig out the corner so pedestrians can cross the street, and we have to do our driveway. Thankfully, the neighbor next door, who I owe copious amounts of home-baked goods or good beer, snowblowed at least the eastern side of our walk so that we didn't have to do the whole thing.
At least 12 have inches as much deep. To do.
Yeah, we didn't have nearly as much to do, and he did our driveway too, which isn't huge, but when it's 12 inches of lake effect snow, it might as well be 100. It really might as well be.
So we're playing a very small violin for the East Coast because we get, this is...
They had blizzard conditions in Racine and Kenosha, which are the counties south of us, and I guess Chicago got walloped too, even though we usually get kind of lumped into like Chicago North, and we don't exist when big weather happens in the Midwest because everything focuses on Chicago. It was icky. And I'm done. We don't have to have any more snow the rest of the winter. We've had our fair share.
We contemplated Texas.
I'm still serious about figuring out a way once everything gets settled here of moving to Texas. I know it gets cold and I know it occasionally snows, but it's not going to be like this ever. And I'm okay with that.
Let's ask a Texan. I know you might be biased for your area, but we'll probably avoid the Gulf Coast because we're not big fans of humidity.
When he says we're not big fans, he means he.
Yeah.
So I don't mind.
Why would you want to live in Houston anyway?
Hey, we could live in Brownsville instead.
I just want to be where.
Why would you want it? Never mind. No, South Central Texas is where you guys want to be, the hill country. I mean, let me put it this way, okay? There's going to be humidity, one way or the other. Yeah. You're going to get humidity because it is humid down here, but it's not that bad. It really isn't.
No, it gets humid up here. It gets to the point where you can't breathe because it's like walking into a soggy rig. And then you get this stuff in the winter that you have to shovel, and I'm just done. The bitter cold and the snow, ugh.
Going over it, let's see. I know you're probably biased towards Dallas. How about what's San Antonio? Do you have anything recommended for San Antonio area?
I recommend you get somewhere in the hill country in between Waco and Austin.
So closer to Austin.
I recommend you get somewhere in between. No, let me put it this way, okay? And this is just my opinion, okay? I'm only speaking for myself. No, Brian, it's not a dry humidity. It's humid, okay? It's humid.
There is no such thing as a dry.
All right. Let me just through. Okay, you do not. If you want to get frustrated with statism, move to Austin or move to San Antonio. If you want to avoid statism, you want South Central Texas.
Yeah. Well, we will put that on our bucket list then because
Wisconsin.
I love Wisconsin, and part of me will always be a cheesehead, and I will always be a pack. What?
We have a caller.
We have a caller.
Hello, mystery caller. How are you?
It's a mystery caller?
Well, yeah. I didn't tell Amy you were calling in.
Nobody told me you were calling. This is such a surprise. Hi, Heather.
Hello.
Yes, joining us as the not-so-mystery caller is Heather Boulware, who you can find on Twitter at @HBoulware. Hi, how are you, sweetie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm alive, and that's as much as I can say at this point in time. But it's so good to hear your voice. I
did hear that you weren't having a very easy time, and I wanted you to know that I love you very much, and I am totally here for you whenever you need anything. Awesome. And my sister-in-law happens to live in Oconomowoc, and she actually has a master's degree in special education. And I emailed her, and she's going to contact you.
That would be wonderful.
Bless you.
Yeah, to see if there's anything she can do to sort of help or advise or support or whatever you happen to need. Because I know this has been a really hard thing for you, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah, well, thank you. And then for those of you who are wondering what's happening, I started a new job getting my teaching certification. And without going into too many sordid details, the first couple of days on the job have, with the exception of this morning, largely been a nightmare. It is a very, very difficult placement, and
it is. And
I have to give you kudos for being probably the only person outside of the state of Wisconsin that I know who can pronounce Oconomowoc correctly. So
I can even spell it. I know, right? It's amazing.
That's even better.
I know. Yeah.
It's terrible. But I bet Amy has no idea how to spell Bernie.
Bernie?
In Texas.
You mean Bernie, Texas?
Yes.
No, nobody ever does. and what cracks me up, no one can ever pronounce Montague correctly.
Montague?
Or Montague.
Well,
you mean
say
Montague.
It Montague.